Welcome to Covered with Comfort. Today we got Ahmad Thomas with us. This podcast is, in my opinion, special because we actually go back to middle school, back to high school, grew up together, and he actually used to be a former NFL player. Now he's a realtor, also a contractor, if I'm not mistaken, got his own building company going on. So I want to tap into what it is that you're doing right now, what it is that's changed throughout the process, and what it was to be in the NFL, because that is something that we really want to make sure that our public knows.
Yeah. So I'll start by saying, man, I appreciate you having me here. And yeah, it's been a long time. It's overdue since we actually seen each other in person. So I appreciate you having me come out. To answer your first question, right now I'm doing some infrastructure development and some general contracting too, and I'm working with a company called BC Mason Group, and I've been having a lot of fun there too, learning a lot of things on the commercial side, and then with my business doing residential, and then going to the football side of it.
Yeah, let's start with that. The NFL. How was that ride? Talk to me a little bit about that. What is the biggest misconception you had about the NFL before you made it?
So my biggest misconception about the NFL when I first got in, because mind you, I started at I started at Liberty City, then I went to the boys club, and then I went to high school, because middle school I played for the boys club.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is,
right.
I stayed at one program for a very long time. So once I got to high school, I was there for 4 years. I got to college, I was there for 4 years. So going into the league.
In one college?
Yeah, I went to Oklahoma, and
Nice.
I stayed there all 4 years.
Yeah, okay.
So when I went into the league and being the first generation, I'm thinking I'm going to a team and I'm going to be there.
Okay.
So I didn't have anybody to tell me like, hey man, once you go in, it's like you got to play through your contract. And if you don't play through your contract, you might end up going somewhere else. And sometimes you don't play through your contract. You can get traded, things like that, or you get cut. So I started my career off not on a team. I went to the Raiders. I was there for literally 3 days. They let me go, and
What?
I didn't have
Crazy. 3 days? How's that even possible?
Rookie mini camp. It's politics. So
Okay.
when you in Little League, they call it favoritism.
Okay.
But when you get up in the ranks, they call it politics.
So politics go all the way to the NFL. That's crazy.
Yes, bro.
Because my son going through some politics right now.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I
Yeah.
didn't know
And
that.
I would say, to the kids, always have fun.
Okay.
Like, try to make the game as fun as you can, because it's always going to be a job. But it didn't feel like a job until I got to the NFL.
Okay.
So, but that was the biggest misconception. I think I was going to go in there and just be on the team. And for some people, that happens. Some people are fortunate enough to stay on the team for 5 years, 10 years.
Yeah, I get that. Wow. So people see the spotlight, and that's pretty much a lot of what they don't see, huh?
Yeah, they don't see that.
3 days in one team. That right now
Yeah.
is mind blowing to me. I see all the patches you got on the hats.
This wasn't even planned.
That's
but
crazy.
I made this from some of the authentic stuff I got from the team.
That's awesome, man. Because I'm here thinking that your college career was the same way as it was in the NFL. You went from one place to another, and you got traded around maybe, or you got recruited elsewhere. So when you told me, I saw you in Oklahoma, but I didn't know that it was just there throughout the whole career.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Freshman year all the way to senior year.
Wow, what's something that fans assume about the NFL's money that isn't true?
They think that we get paid all that money up front.
And
I would say fanatics probably know that you got to play through your contract. So if you sign for, let's just say $450,000, you sign for $450,000, you get paid throughout the season. So even if you're on an active roster, you still got to get paid. You got to play all that out. Like, you don't get nothing up front unless it's like a signing bonus or something like that. But that number is what you got to play through. So you'll get that full amount if you play through your contract. But if you get cut, then you only get a certain percentage of it.
Okay.
Based on how long you were there.
So that's why you saw that it was more like a job, because like you had to work for that. It wasn't that something that you just got up front per se.
Yeah, it's most definitely a job. And then you got to have the patience to know that most of us played football for over 20 years before we make it to the NFL. I started playing football when I was 5. Some people that I played with in the league, which was shocking to me, some people started in high school.
Okay.
So it's different for everybody.
It absolutely is. That's great. It's great that you're sharing this because a lot of the kids out there don't know this information.
Yeah, they don't know that. They see the numbers and they think, oh, he got a lot of money. It's the same thing in college too. Well, it's different now because you got NIL and stuff like that.
Yeah, that is crazy. So I wonder what the college kids think now too.
They probably think they don't need to go to the NFL. It depends.
Maybe that's another point of view.
Yeah, because my dream started because I wanted to live a good life. But at the same time, I wanted to be great at what I was doing.
Okay.
So I wanted to be in the room with the best.
Absolutely.
So.
That's awesome, man. So, what is one lesson you wish that every rookie heard one day? Or like from day one? From day one as a rookie, you go into NFL, you made it. What is one lesson that you got to know?
Don't let your emotions overshadow logic.
Okay.
And then don't compromise your morals and values to get where you want to be.
That's a good one. Heck yeah. That's a good one. All right.
I would say that's the most important one because going back to when I was at the Raiders and I was there for 3 days, that was the first time I experienced something that set me up to be able to handle what I was going to experience when I got back into the league. So long story short, they brought me, and I was very optimistic about it because I told you I was naive when I first got into the league. But I got in to Cali. We started rookie mini camp, and I was there. We were going through camp and everything, and they had this guy. I think he was coming from UConn, and he was a safety like me. And then there was another guy who got drafted, and he got injured during rookie mini camp. So we going through rookie mini camp. They pulled me off the field. The last day, we just broke the huddle. Well, not the huddle. Like, it's the end of practice. We rated on 3, 1, 2, 3, break. And then as soon as I turn around, they come grab me. Long story short, I sat in that room waiting. And on the way up there, I was with Jordan Wade. I played with him in college. And then there was another guy on the elevator too, but he was a vet. And he clearly was in distress. And I was like, why? And Jordan was asking me, he's like, what's happening? I'm like, bro, I don't know.
A vet, like a veteran?
A veteran.
Okay.
Yeah. And he clearly knew what was going on.
Yeah.
But I'm just like naive because, like I said, I had the mindset, I'm going to be here. So Jordan asked me, what's going on? I'm just like, I don't know. Maybe they finna give us some money. They forgot to give us, like, I literally said that. That was funny.
That's awesome.
But so they sat us in the room. They came and got the vet first. They came and got Jordan, and then I was just sitting there waiting. I was like, now I'm like, why are we here? Like, because now I'm here by myself. So they grabbed me, and they was like, well, long story short, we're gonna release you. We'll call you back. We're just gonna waive you, but we're not cutting you completely. I was off of a team for 6 months. I ain't gonna lie, I was devastated because I did not see that coming. But
yeah, you're hustling. You're doing what you need to do.
Yeah, but they lied to me.
What do you mean by that?
They completely lied to me. Let me get to that. So throughout those 6 months, when I wasn't on the team, I was waiting for them to call me back. But by like a month and a half, I was over it, and I was calling my agent, trying to get workouts and stuff. Because after rookie minicamp is actual minicamp, you get a little break, then it's training camp. I wasn't a part of none of that my rookie year. So I was working out on my own and things like that. So with that being said, I got a signing bonus, but it got taxed. So behind the scenes, what people don't see is
right, taxes.
Yeah, coming straight out of college, when I didn't have NIL, we would be playing these games with 100,000 people in the stadiums, and we go home sometimes don't even know how we gonna eat on the weekend. It was a little worse when I first got in my rookie year, but it got a little better. So I wasn't on the team, and then I was doing these workouts. And I called my agent when I finally, this all the way down the line, when I finally got back on the team, I got with the Packers. And he told me, he said, the Raiders never wanted you back for real. And I wasn't finna tell you that, but now I'm gonna tell you that because of what I had to go through and the things that he even experienced. He was like, I don't even know how you even got on the team because, yeah. That moment told me that it was God. He was like, I've never seen this throughout the 20 years I've been an agent. I didn't have no rookie mini. I had no film. I only had college film. But what you did last game don't matter.
Wow.
That's how football works.
Oh wow.
You scored a touchdown last week. That's good. That's good for you. You got to score another one this game.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So they was like, yeah, that's.
I would say you got to tell them that the rookies got to know this too. It's every day
that's
counts.
What I'm saying.
Every single day.
But within that though, your morals and values. If you don't want to be lied to, then you can't compromise yourself to put yourself in that position. And that's what I was doing at first. Because I was like, man, I want to be here. Like, what am I not doing? And this and that. And then I sit in front of these people, and then they tell me things that's not true.
Yeah, that's what they say about.
I went through that with the Packers.
Okay.
I didn't go through that with the Colts. But by the time I got to the Colts, I understood what I needed to do.
Yeah,
so
I saw you on TV with the Colts, and I saw you on TV with the Packers.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. But within that, though, it was more so of a grooming phase for me to understand how to carry myself, not just as a player, but as a businessman. Because that's how I was portraying myself. Like, I'm here to play.
But they took advantage of that. For sure, they'll take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Dang, I appreciate you sharing this, man, because not everybody opens up about this. Everybody thinks it's sweet, and everybody thinks it's nothing but gold at the end of the rainbow, man. But it's work. It's work. And he's here sharing his real story, his real life on how, being a newbie in this, NFL industry just pretty much just took him by surprise. And that's what we don't want, our whether it's our kids. You got 3 kids. I got 4 kids. We don't want our kids to go through the same hurdles that we went through. We want them to do better. We want them to be better. So this is us trying to bring back to the community. This is us trying to bring back to the future that's out there. So I appreciate you guys following, and make sure to share this with anybody that you see is looking to pursue that dream, looking to pursue that passion, football. And my son is one of them. So I appreciate you sharing this with us, man.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. So let me ask you something. Now we're gonna talk about, we spoke about taxes, and a lot of people don't even know how important or how detrimental is having a tax strategy. Because once you actually start making money, Uncle Sam's like, hey, you making that money because of me? Let me get some. Exactly. So let me ask you this. Did the league teach you enough about financial planning? Would you say, do they even have a course?
I would say they did their due diligence. Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Even college too. Yeah,
Nice.
They'll bring people out and they'll have these little seminars, and sometimes they have events too. Like, I went to a business symposium that was held by the league. It's more so like NFLPA, the Players Association, and the Trust, and then we even got a PAC, Pro Athlete Community. So it's a lot of communities that were created for athletes to be able to transition or even just make the best of their opportunity while they're in the game. But it's a lot of things that it's so crazy because it's football related when it comes to football players struggling with that kind of thing. It's like they bring people out there for us, but it's not that important because it's so performance based. So it's like most of the time nobody's really thinking about money or taxes and stuff like that. So I do appreciate them doing that for us, but it's just so performance based that it's always somebody else doing it for you. Like the agent have somebody to do your taxes and talk to you. It's so much stuff going on. There's a lot of moving parts, for real.
Yeah, you really shocked me when you said it's performance based. What do you mean by that?
If you don't perform, you don't play. If you don't play, you don't get paid.
Huh.
It's performance based.
So if you sit on sideline, you're not getting paid.
So
That's
they
crazy.
cut your pay.
Huh.
So if you don't put on a helmet on game day, you get paid half. Well, in some cases, it's not even half.
Okay. Dang, I didn't even know that, man.
Yeah, so you got practice squad players, you got active players. And then you can be inactive. So, you could be on the active squad, but you're not playing. So, you're injured.
So you're not getting paid for that?
Yeah, you can pay. It depends.
Okay.
So, if you're on the active roster, but you're inactive and not playing, you'll still get an active roster check.
Got it.
But if you just on a practice squad, you're not playing regardless. You're
Got
just
it.
practicing.
Yeah, you're just getting your practice squad pay.
Yeah.
Got it. Oh man, I didn't even know that there was like an industry within the NFL of look,
it's a
there's
hierarchy.
practice squad. Yeah, that's crazy.
But we see it though. Round 1, round 2, round 3, round 4, and so on. And then you got undrafted players. I was undrafted. It's not as easy. You don't get to make that many mistakes as a first round draft pick. They bought him for more money. Mm-hmm. And I got to say it like that because my perspective on it when I went through that phase was like voluntary slavery.
Voluntary slavery.
That's what it
That's
felt like.
crazy that you're saying that.
That's what it feels like. We strip down, we have our tights on, we walk on the stage, we put our arms out, they measure us and everything. They take notes. It's all the scouts just looking at us.
So since you were undrafted, does that mean you didn't do the combine?
No, I didn't get invited to the combine.
Okay.
I got invited to like was it the NFLPA a game, and then I did the pro day.
Because, well, I mean, my son has been going to different camps lately in FBU or VTO, and he does exactly what you just said, measure up, scale him, weigh, and all that, see how he compares to everybody else. But I didn't know that, you're not actually, in the NFL. I'm here thinking that, you're at least making something while they're trying to test you.
Yeah, but the principle is we getting bought.
I get
we watch people get bought on live TV.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
They're paying you,
I get what you're
but
saying.
they're buying you.
I get what you're saying. 100%. Yeah. 100%.
And then they're telling you where they think you fall into the totem pole. Like
that's why you gotta love the game. That's why you gotta love the game.
Yeah, that too, but you gotta love yourself. Because I could have left junior year and got drafted in the 4th round, and I decided to stay and get my degree. Because I needed to learn how to communicate. If I didn't, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you like how I am now.
Absolutely.
And I would have just been, football. And then have everybody else do everything for me.
That's also going to pay its dividends. So but you need to understand that you're going to pay the cost some way, one way or another. So we have a lot of clients out there that ask us, how much is this going to cost me? I mean, it's going to cost you something. Whether you get it or not, it's going to cost you something. All right. So at the end of the day, what is the cost, and what is the cost that you are willing to pay? Mm-hmm. And again, when it comes to finances, what financial mistake do you see young athletes commonly make?
So when you first get the check and like you got all this money, you start spending the money accordingly. So it's like at first you were making a little bit of money in college, and now you get to the league and you got millions of dollars, so you buy a big house, nice car, things like that. And then once you leave the league, your expenses are NFL expenses and you're out of the league. So I think that's probably the biggest mistake that some rookies make, is they overspend their money and they don't save. And
that's a good one. That's a good one, and I appreciate you sharing that and being open about that because, I mean, it's, if I'm not mistaken, it is 70% of millionaires out there, 70% of millionaires, once you get to that millionaire level, 70% within 2 years are back to the same place that they started. So it's really important to have that management. I appreciate you touching that subject because you got to start prepping from the moment that you do get that big check, because I mean, that's what we teach, at least, and that's something I want to talk a little bit more about, because I mean, we're doing this to help our young, right? But this is something that one of my mentors told me, and I went with it. I went with it since I was 20 years old, and it changed my life. I'm being straight with you, like, it changed my life. What he told me was, learn how to make 6 figures for the rest of your life and live with half. The other 50%, invest it. Learn to live with half. Whatever you make, learn to live with half. Whether it's 100,000, whether it's 80,000. Obviously, in the beginning, it's hard. Like when I started this company, and Yo, it was tight. It was me, my wife, and 3 kids, and we was barely making 50 grand. Barely. Me, my wife, and 3 kids barely making 50 grand. That's tight.
Yeah.
That's tight. No, I mean, I come from poverty, and my mom with 4 kids by herself, she was making about $1,000 a month, 12 grand a year. So we come from the gutter, like we come from the bottom, and we're working our way up. And as you're working your way up, that's what insurance is for, so that if something happens, you don't go all the way to the bottom. You have insurance to catch you. That's what it's for. It's the spread of risk, and not a lot of people know what you can do with insurance out there. And this is good that we're having this conversation, because these little things make a big difference, a big impact at the end of the day. So with that, what is something you would do differently if you could start all over? Particularly to the NFL, because I know that right now you're in your real estate journey, and I don't want to tap into that just yet. I do have a lot of real estate questions, because I got some real estate myself. Yeah. But when it comes to the NFL, if there was one thing that you could do different to start again, what would it be?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say nothing.
Okay.
I went through everything that I went through for a reason, and I wouldn't be in this position if I didn't.
I like that.
And I tell you in specific, and I tell my lady this too. It was the time of 2019, and I was playing with the Colts, and I had already went through the Raiders situation briefly with the Packers. I appreciate all these teams for giving me an opportunity too, but it's just things that they didn't even know, or they don't even, or they probably do understand this, and that's probably why they go about it that way. But me being left in the facility when they tell you to come in and sign a contract, and then they choose somebody else, like that led me to do the things that I did at the Colts when I went, and I got injured and I wasn't supposed to play. The doctors told me that I shouldn't play, and I told them I could play. So I said, I want to speak to the GM. I told the GM, I said, the doctor's telling me that I can't play. I know I can play, because this is my body, and I'm telling you that I can play. And you know just as well as I know, if I don't play this game, I'm not going to be here. Before that situation, I was sitting in the car. It was my son's birthday, and I was sitting in the car, and I came to a realization. And I want to ask you this too. Did you put your son in sports?
Yeah, of course. Since he was like 6 years old.
This is what I realized. This is why I wouldn't change nothing. Because this was given to me. My name is Ahmad. I was named after Ahmad Rashad. He was a football player. I started playing football when I was 5. I didn't make that choice. And I realized that when I signed that active roster contract, and I started crying. I was happy, but I wasn't like happy at the core, like, this is like amazing. And all the stuff that I went through to get to that point, I was like, dang, that's crazy. I didn't really choose to do this. I just followed through with it and fell in love with it. But it also helped me become the man that I am today, which was being a football player to be a businessman, because that's what it taught me. It taught me to not just be out there just playing football, because that's what it is. Like, it's a gateway to being something more. That's awesome. What sports is. So I wouldn't change nothing. I like the fact that I went through all of that stuff, and I like the fact that I made mistakes, because I know what I need to do going forward.
Builds character.
It definitely did.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And regardless of whatever sport you do, that's what it builds. It builds character. Mm-hmm. It builds discipline. It builds integrity. Right. It just builds so many different aspects in your brain as a person, so you can learn to collaborate, because you got a team. You got somebody else that is also counting on you.
Yeah.
So you got to make sure that you're on that same page.
Right.
And it goes back to, and it even goes back into your marriage. That's the first team you got to worry about, your marriage.
I say that all
So
the time.
with
Relationship. That's the most important relationship.
Absolutely. And that's the only other person in this world that is going to look after you, if not better than you do for yourself.
Right.
So thank you for sharing that. I don't know if you guys caught that, but there's so many different points of views that you can take from it. He had a purpose. He saw that, okay, maybe he started working on this NFL dream, and throughout the dream, he saw that he fell in love with the sport, but it wasn't something that he chose, and it takes a lot to discern that, and in the time, in the process that you were working with, or with the time that you had dedicated, you came to realize that. So that's big, because ultimately now you are an entrepreneur. Now you have reinvented yourself. You have your real estate license. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so I got my real estate license in 2023. I stopped playing in 2021, and that's when I started residential contracting business in Texas, and I got my real estate license in Texas. 2025, I went to, and I did all of that through 2025, and then I went to Nashville and then started a new entity for residential remodeling. I was doing some fix and flips as well, and I sold a couple properties in Texas, and then we did some business out there too. We attempted to do some business out there too. But now I'm in Nashville doing infrastructure development and general contracting on the commercial side, and still doing some residential remodeling and stuff too. I haven't been as active as a realtor now because I just love the construction part of it. Like, I love the construction part of it. The acquisition and disposition is cool, but I just love to be hands-on.
What part of that construction process?
Demo.
Yeah, I know.
love demo.
Break things up, boy. That's what all it is about the NFL, man. You like to make sure that you making an impact. Make sure.
Yeah, that's exactly what it feels like.
I know. I just imagine you with a helmet just running through a wall.
Yeah, I still do it.
Oh man, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
But I'm trying to work smarter now.
Right. No, but it's
I'll pick up a sledge, but I'm working around a lot of cool guys, and me being in that residential remodeling field as a laborer and as an entrepreneur, it was something that I needed more of, and that was managing the crew. So residential remodeling with subs, it's kind of, I didn't even say kind of, it's chaotic.
Okay.
It's chaotic. Like, at any point in time, the phases can get like, so basically I do it in zones.
Okay.
So work zones. And a sub comes in and then a sub comes out. But the sub that's there before is setting up the job for the next sub.
Right.
But in residential, it's so chaotic because there's so much competition. But once you get in the commercial field, it's less time. It's like, you probably, the longest thing that I've done so far, well, yeah, we got a couple sites that's taking a while, but I say start with something small, like a bus stop.
Okay.
It'll take like 3 days. But if you want to do a fix and flip, it could take
a couple months,
6 months, or
for sure.
You wanted to take 6 months.
Mm-hmm. I know. I'm going through some headaches right now. So let me ask you something else. Have you experienced unexpected financial situations or financial challenges, financial distress in business?
Yeah, I feel like that's inevitable.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got to plan for that. You got to literally plan for that.
Yeah, you do. And so when it comes with construction, you got to float the project. So, I mean, most people, I'm comfortable with not getting paid up front sometimes, but it depends. But most people will only pay half or like 10%, or they'll pay you up front and just hold 10%. But it's always best to be able to pull up to a job, get it done, without even having to take money out of anybody's pocket until it's done.
Okay. All right. Well, as a business owner, I would see some challenges in that, because, I mean, you're putting in all labor. The next worst thing that could happen is them not pay you, which is possible. Has that ever happened to you?
Yeah, it happened. I'm doing some HVAC stuff. Yeah.
So with that, do you think that athletes understand what I mentioned a few minutes ago about protection? Do you think they understand about insurance, asset protection, income protection? Do you think they understand that enough?
So I'll have to go back to what I was saying, like performance based. Because we work in a performance based field, it's not that athletes don't want to understand it. They just feel like everybody after them for anything, like, especially when it comes to money. So if you're not a trusted person in their circle, they most likely not gonna talk to you, or they're gonna tell you to talk to somebody in their trusted circle.
They think that you're just gonna
because everybody we work in a performance based industry. So like people see us and they think we cool and all that stuff, and like people want to be around us. So my agent, I got him because he was already I saw him all 4 years. He always came to OU, but every agent want to come after you, and this is just like everybody. Right. Everybody want a piece of the pie. You know, the agent get paid, and it was crazy because when my agent told me that, he was like, "I've never seen anything like this in the 20 years I've been an agent." And right then and there, I was like, "Well, I shouldn't pay you." That's how I felt. I felt that way, but like, that's just what it is. That's just what's a part of it. Like my agent get paid for me playing, and you know, he talked to people he know and the connects to be able to pull some strings. But you know, to tell you that you're really not pulling those strings, then it's really no point. And then it goes to, you know, financial advisors and, you know, people who own insurance companies, and it's the whole list of people who are always coming after these players. And that goes back to the people who they bring out to speak.
But the thing is that as a player, you guys should know that it's necessary to guard that income, because I mean you could get hurt. You could get hurt.
Right.
Like, you could get hurt, and bro, something that's crazy and it blows my mind, and I'm never gonna forget it ever. But I don't know if you remember. There was this quarterback back in 2011, 2010, I think it was, Pat White. Mm-hmm. He played for West Virginia, and the Dolphins drafted him. And I'm here thinking that he's going to be the best quarterback the Dolphins ever had. You know, we're going to make it to the ship this year. And the first play that the man steps on the field, the very first play of his career, he gets hurt. He gets stepped on his shoulder, if I'm not mistaken, by Ricky Williams. Stepped on his shoulder right here. And that ends his career.
Wow.
That is crazy. I saw that, and I couldn't even talk. Well, look at me.
So this would be the thing with that situation. I don't know what happened to Pat White, but I'm assuming he got drafted. I don't remember.
Yeah,
but
he got drafted.
He did?
Yeah.
So if he got drafted, I was undrafted. But let's just use that as an example. If you drafted and you get hurt, you'll go on injury reserve, which you'll still get paid active checks. So in his situation, because you say he ended his career, so he never played after.
That was his one and only play of his life. That's crazy.
So what they probably did was gave him a settlement.
Okay.
And that's typically what they do.
Okay.
If you get cut after you got injured, they'll give you a settlement, and that's it. Dang. So he could have signed for a couple $1 million. Mm-hmm. He got that signing bonus. Mm-hmm. He got that settlement, and that was it. He didn't see all that money because he didn't play out the contract.
And West Virginia, if I'm not mistaken, I know that for sure that they won a bowl or two, and I really thought that Pat White was going to be the answer because he was fast too. He was fast on his feet, man. Yeah. I just remember. I can't forget. I can't forget.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So let's talk to the high schoolers right now. What should high school players focus on besides talent? So you were sharing. He shared with us that he was like, I could have went to the NFL early as a junior, but I chose not to. I chose on working my communication, and let me tell you, it's freaking fantastic.
Yeah, thank you.
I know personally, me, that communication is detrimental to you progressing in your life. It's detrimental. You got to be able to get your point across.
So it's so much different than when we were in high school, but I think this is universal. Morals and values are very important, and then
You've said
building
that a couple
character.
times already.
Yeah,
Yeah.
building character. Like I wasn't a guy who went out in high school. I didn't drink, so I was always doing football related things. And then our program didn't really give us that much time to be free anyway,
Right.
because they knew what we were trying to do. They knew our environment and things like that. So people in high school now, being that it's so different, just like the world is so different. Like you just gotta be able to find a way to stick to what you believe in and chasing your dreams if you taking it serious. Like if you want to take it serious, like you have to surround yourself with people who are in alignment with your morals and values.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That thanks for sharing. That was key.
Like as in, if you want to be an athlete and you want to take it serious, don't hang around with people who are not athletes and all they want to do is party and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that's wrong, because you got elite people who party. Like The Hangover. People make money off of that. You saw the guy who went to Vegas to pretend like he was in The Hangover. He get paid for that. It's always ways to make money, but like those morals and values and that character is taking yourself seriously because you say you want to do something, and then putting yourself in environments to be able to make it happen.
Absolutely. I can absolutely relate to what you're saying. Let's say you have 4 friends, and excuse me for the word, but from those 4 friends, you're the 5th one, and all 4 of them are, doing bad things.
Yeah.
It's really likely that maybe you're not doing anything bad, but just because you were there, just because you were in the vicinity, you're also part of that group, and that's not really what you want to have around. And I'm not just talking about anything that's not supposed to be happening, anything illegal, but just the type of person that you surround yourself with is normally the type of person that you end up becoming. Things rub off. It really does. And I think that high school students should know that. So another one for the high schools. What's your message to young athletes out there about them chasing their NFL dreams?
Yeah, I would say the same thing. You got to take it serious. Like, it's going to be a lot of people who will look at you and say, "What you want to do?" "Oh, I want to make it to the NFL." And then they get into the statistic conversation. Like, well, everybody don't make it. It's hard, this and that. Like, you could choose your heart. You can.
Absolutely.
So, like, if it's hard to make it, I'm going to work harder to make it. It's not like it's impossible. So, first, take yourself serious. Don't be looking for external validation on if you're going to make it or not. Because one person may think you slow and think that you making it to the NFL is a long shot. And some people may just amplify other things around you being slow, or whatever the case may be. It's like, well, yeah, you slow, but you strong, and you this and that. So it's like people need to take themselves seriously, and like I said, put themselves in an environment out of that 5 group, that friend group you was talking about. Those 4 friends, that 5th person who want to be an athlete, they have to take themselves serious enough to say, okay, these friends are not good for me because we don't even have anything in common. We're not even trying to chase the same thing. So
they're not even pushing me to be better.
Right. So a person who is serious about being an athlete and they know that you got a former NFL player on here, they'll watch it. They'll watch that, and then they'll try to get around other people who are better than them. That slow person will try to find somebody who's faster than them and train, like that kind of stuff. Like if they're thinking about anything other than what they said they want to do, then they don't really want to do it.
I get it. So if you could go back and talk to your 17-year-old self, what would you say?
That's an interesting time. My 17-year-old self, I'll just say keep going. The reason why I said that is because when I was 16, I found out I was adopted. That next year, when I was 17, I played the best football in my life.
That's awesome.
The best football in my life. And I'll never remember this. I'll never forget this. Coach Lockett walked up to me after a game, and he said those exact words to me. And in that time of my life,
What'd he say?
he said, you played the best football of your life. That was the best game I ever seen you play. We was playing the West. I knocked somebody's helmet off 3 times in a row.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I was that serious. I broke up with my girlfriend that year. I needed no distractions. And it was an outlet for me emotionally, but that year before then, it was mentally kind of chaotic for me because I was kind of hearing that, like, oh, like, I didn't know you was adopted, this and that. And I was asking questions and stuff like that. But I was never a bad kid, though. It was just, I would do, like, you know, slick and sneaky stuff that I get away with. But
once any kids does that.
Yeah. But once I realized, like, when I was adopted, I was like, man, like, I'm really in a blessed situation where I have a family that cares about me. And in reality, I probably would have never knew I was adopted if they would never told me. So my 17-year-old self was probably the best football player I ever knew.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome because that's when you realize that you are blessed.
Yeah.
You are blessed, and you know, it's all about what you make it. Because at the end of the day, I mean, I went over to your house a couple times, and your mom treated you like it would. Hey, that's blood right there.
Yeah.
So that comes as a surprise to me too. I was like, you're adopted? Yeah. I didn't know that. So I appreciate you sharing that. And when we're talking to the youth out there, you know, what we're trying to do is just share from what we've learned that's gotten us to the point that we are in this life. I mean, you've gone through different phases of your life, you know, playing at Oklahoma, reaching all the way to the NFL, being a realtor, now being a contractor. You really see the different phases, and it's built you to who you are now. So with that, to the youth, he said it best. Just keep going. Don't get tired. What I have to add to that is be relentless, be persistent. Because if you really want to make it, you will. You'll figure it out along the way, 100%. So we're gonna be ending soon. Right now, what I really want to focus on is something about, you know, the Black community. What we want to do is see if we can, you know, change the perspective on legacy, right? Because the day of tomorrow, you know, we're all gonna die, we're all gonna pass away, something's gonna happen to us, and we want to leave something. And some people don't even think that far. Mm-hmm. Sometimes people are living day to day. I don't know if you know what poverty is, but people are just struggling to make it to the end of today. Yeah. And they're not thinking about tomorrow. They're not thinking about next week, next month, next year. My kids, they're not thinking about that. They're thinking about how I'm going to pay rent today, how I'm going to eat today, how I'm going to pay this water bill today. Yeah. That's what poverty is, straight up. And what I want to do is I want to define legacy. What do you define as legacy?
What I define as legacy is leaving a mark so strong that even if you're no longer here physically, you're still here. And I gotta go back to morals and values, bro. Because
of course.
And of course money like plays a part, but how you leave a real legacy is structured. So in order for me to, well, I'll say it like this. You leave money behind, right? But in order for your kids and then your kids' kids to be able to pull that money out and use it, you have to attach that moral and value piece to it. So you got to trust, right? Now you're gone, right? Your kids have access to this trust, but then you have things in this trust that will tell them how they can get access to the money.
Absolutely.
So if you want $10,000, it got to be for a business.
The trust is managing.
Or you got to read this book first. Yeah. The Secret is a great book to read.
Oh, yeah, it is, for sure.
Yeah, you know about The Secret and what the Rockefellers would do.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know about that. Like, so stuff like that that's what I think of legacy. Like, I don't want to just leave behind money for them to just do whatever they want to do with it. It's ways that you have to go about
Absolutely.
getting the money.
Absolutely. I double down on that. So what I could refer that to in insurance is, for example, a life insurance policy. Let's say you have a $10 million life insurance policy. Boom, you pass away. Your family, in certain cases, if you don't have a trust, they're going to go ahead and get those 10 million. Boom, like that. Your life changing from day to tomorrow with 10 million.
Yeah.
It's very likely that
If
you ain't going to...
Statistics.
In 2 years,
70%.
that 10 million ain't gonna be there no more. That's very likely. So, very, very, very important what he just said. Put it into a trust. The trust then decides, not grandma, not sister. You know, maybe you do want to leave a little portion to them, but most of it goes to the trust. That's totally possible, 100%. But I appreciate you sharing that, because a lot of people out there don't even know these little things that you can do to make money last a really long time.
Yeah.
All right. So, what does your success mean? What does your success mean to you today versus during your NFL years? What does that word really mean?
That's a great question. Yeah. Success to me is living a happy life, and that's really the most important thing. Like, because when I was telling you about that story, when I was crying after I signed the active roster, that wasn't success to me. It made sense. I was like, okay, I'm here. I signed the active roster.
You dreamt, you'd feel.
Exactly. So that's what I deem success as. Happiness.
That's crazy.
Freedom. Like the feeling of it. Like if you don't you could tell, bro. Like you could tell people who don't love the game for real.
Exactly.
Like I love the game, but like I didn't watch football like that religiously. I'm more of a kinesthetic person. So I used to be young, running around with my helmet on while the game was on, and I eventually go outside because I love to do that. So once I got to doing real estate, and that's why I kind of gravitated towards construction more, because I was doing it at the same time, being a realtor and a contractor. So once I understood, I'm like, okay, what kind of person am I to be able to be successful at what I'm doing? Because if I'm not happy, I can't serve people.
I agree.
And that's what my line of work is.
Totally agree.
So I feel successful because I feel good. I'm happy with myself.
Good. Hell yeah. I like that. I really like the way you explain that. And then I'm going to leave you with this last one. How do you balance risk versus guaranteed protection now?
That's a good question. I've never really believed in security.
Okay.
And then going through the NFL made it more realistic for me. Like security in oneself is the only security that I really believe in.
Right.
Yeah.
You are your own guarantee.
Yeah.
I get what you mean.
So like I don't, because I'll be around, we in Miami, and it's just like, Hard Rock casinos and how our family is when they playing cards. I've never been that kind of risk taker because I am the risk. Right. That, I hope I'm explaining this correctly, or if you understand what I'm saying, but it's like, I don't bet on anything outside of me. So I am the guarantee, like how you said it.
I like that. So imagine this. Imagine you have a machine, a machine. This is the machine. Imagine you have a machine. And this machine prints money for you. It makes money. It literally makes money. Mm-hmm. All right? Why would you not protect this machine? Did you catch that?
I caught that.
You are this machine.
Yeah.
I just want you to know that. You are this machine.
Yeah. I did catch that. Yeah, that's pretty much kind of how I'm putting it too.
Okay.
Because let's go back to the financial piece within being an entrepreneur. So it was risk that I took by understanding. I was like, okay, how can I print this money? That's when I was like, okay, I'll pick up a hammer. Like, it's already here. I can pick up this hammer. So, like, that's what...
And then you start making money.
Right. Which I was printing the money, and then now you're going into like, how can I make that guaranteed?
Right.
Just be the machine.
You are
If
the
I was to
machine.
go broke tomorrow, I'll be able to print more money.
You are the machine.
Yeah. So that's basically, we basically saying the same thing.
But now, what happens if you're no longer here? The machine is now broken permanently.
How do I create another machine or keep the money that was printed from the machine?
How do you keep the machine printing, even though it's broken perpetually now?
He's a perpetually. You
Forever broken.
So how I see what you just said is, okay, something has contaminated the machine, and now the machine isn't working. The reason that I would think the machine isn't working is because I think I can't print money.
No, but the machine's dead.
It's dead. It's not here.
Yeah, machine's broke all the way, rusted.
Well, at that point, we gotta have the money set to the side in a trust and doing what it needs to do.
With some life insurance.
So that'll be that'll be the other machine.
Absolutely.
Created.
So,
Yeah.
take that into perspective. What we're talking about this cup. Yeah, it's a
like
cup.
that.
But at the end of the day, you are that machine. Right now, whoever it is that's watching this video, maybe you're young, wherever you are in your life, you are going to be a person that eventually makes a living for themselves. That income that now starts being created, that income has to be protected. That machine has to be protected. You are that machine. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. I appreciate you making some time to come over to Covered with Comfort, joining in our podcast. And I hope to have you back sometime.
Yeah, definitely will be back, bro. I appreciate you having us, for real.
I appreciate you sharing with our audience your experience. I appreciate you sharing, those little things that a lot of people don't see, and the nuances of being an NFL player, of having those millions of dollars, and being able to invest them wisely and continue to multiply, continue to grow that machine. Yeah. All right, guys. Until next one.